I guess the idea for Six Dreams Apart really came to me during the pandemic, during the lockdowns, that sense of uncertainty, isolation. Personally, I was still making music virtually. And I really wanted to capture the essence of that. You see, each character brings their own lived experience, their pain, their trauma, to the act of music making. And while the musical is about musicians navigating this unfamiliar and really precarious time, it's also about other forces within society, whether it's the death of George Floyd, the uptick in anti-Asian racism, the opioid crisis. Each character really brings that narrative to the script and to the music for that matter. And we really wanted to explore the parameters of a musical because as a child, my mother would take us to the ballet and to other musicals, and I didn't really see that representation on stage. So we made a concerted effort in this project to include the voices of Black, Indigenous, and racialized artists and musicians. And, you know, personally, as a musician, you go through the ebbs and flows, the high highs and the low lows, and you really meet some unsavory characters. So we really wanted to tap into the experiences. What is it like for someone starting from scratch, trying to make it in the business, in the industry? And I think we really did some justice to that. So we hope you like it.
So when I was approached for the musical, I wasn't sure, if I'd be the right fit, just, diving in the realm of the urban music, finding that fine line between a musical and still having that urban edge that, we would have our creative spin on, musicals as it is. And I felt that, we went back and forth with different ideas, different songs, and referencing different musicals and, going out to see different musicals and things like that just to give us the inspiration kind of led us in the right avenue to see how we could differentiate ourselves, but also have some similarities when it comes to musicals. So that was our approach there. And some of the challenges I think that we faced going through the musical, I think, was just making sure that we could hit all the ideas that we had, and there were so many different stories that we wanted to put in different walks of life that we wanted to put within the musical. And I think that was, one of the challenges that we had is just, how do we make this all fit within a certain time frame, but still convey a story from beginning to end. And so that was one of the challenges that we had. And I feel like for me, just having the avenue to, have a voice, be it musically, having an input in some ways of the story, having parts of my life, being influenced in the story and things like that. I feel like it was just a great opportunity to give back to the community, being a fellow artist from Toronto. Again, this is made in Toronto, for Toronto, and so being someone that was birthed in that, I feel like it's a great opportunity to showcase some of our talents. So I hope that you guys really enjoy the musical.
So when I was actually approached with the project and I was asked to take part in this musical, it was incredible because I had always wanted to be involved in a project like that, either a musical or a play. So when Delon actually asked me about it, I was just like, this is incredible because I wanted to start these projects on my own, but I never had that sort of brain power to weave, to contract, to conduct such a production. So Delon had he was the mastermind with all this, and he kind of knew how to approach it and the story, and I was hooked as soon as I read the script. He actually showed me the script pretty early, and that was like, it was really close to home to me. And to be honest with you, I've always just worked on music, right? Like I've been in a band my whole life and stuff. So it was the kind of the elevation of the dimensions of the project was really important. And so I kind of like, I wanted to sort of get to cut loose from all that. So to be honest with you, it was like the timing couldn't have been more perfect. I was just upgrading my computer. We were really upping the ante with the production, and just kind of incorporating the storyline with music was just such a new part of my brain that was activated, right? So it was like it was insane. So like and not to mention I've had the pleasure of working with like iconic people like Randy Lennox. I met him years ago, back in 2001, I believe, when I was in my rock band and stuff. So that was pretty cool. But then to have him kind of to revisit that relationship was really important. And it actually was it felt like it was meant to be. So that was an excellent encounter, and the fact that Delon happened to have worked with him, and it's like I kind of don't. I wanted to see more results out of the things that I've accomplished already. I've been nominated for a Juno a couple of 4 times now, I think. So that was an excellent achievement. With this project, man, like I would love to see how far we can go. Let's see how far we can go with this. Absolutely.
I could be famous if I died. Don't tell my mother that I tried. I could just leave this all behind. Wouldn't my fans think it's divine? I never spoke about these things, all my pain and suffering. I could be famous if I died. Don't tell my mother that I tried. What is legacy if it's meant to be? I was drowning in the myth of meritocracy. In the industry, it keeps calling me. I was tested, I failed, it got the best of me. I sacrificed it all just for a dream, despite the algorithms and the streams. Is it my pedigree that breeds this jealousy? My fellow artists, I saw them as the enemy. I could be famous if I died. Don't tell my mother that I tried. I could just leave this all behind. Wouldn't my fans think it's divine? I never spoke about these things, all my pain and suffering. I could be famous if I died. I was born to die. Don't you talk to me about my destiny. I was blind, I swear it cost me helplessly. It's a parody, the way I readily put myself out there for critics and their apathy. I'm older than I was when I first learned that everything, including dreams, just burn. It's disappointing me that I couldn't see I'm not the man my family needed me to be. I could be famous if I died. Don't tell my mother that I tried. I could just leave this all behind. Wouldn't my fans think it's divine? I never spoke about these things, all my pain and suffering. I could be famous if I died. I was born to die. Maybe I'm no good with grief, denial with anger, bargaining. I'm delusional, it seems. I could write a melody that no one gets to hear or see, but it's okay with me, with me. I could be famous if I died. Don't tell my mother that I tried. I could just leave this all behind. Wouldn't my fans think it's divine? I never spoke about this, never spoke